section. In the Bacon section, which I'll start with, the he is Francis Bacon and the you is George Dyer, his muse, model, lover. And when I get to Crane, the you address is to Hart Crane. He took a picture, like getting it in writing first. He was different. Other painters would have their models sit, not him. He examines you from a number of sides. He has you down, looking over yourself in front of a mirror. He paces back and forth under the single bulb of light in the room, back and forth in front of your face before him, trying to hold himself in, canvassing, wondering where you are, trying hard not to run out, go looking for you, perhaps roaming again. He tries instead to believe he could retain something of you, always some other way, portrayal of you. Undeniably, he's captured there in immediacies and subtleties. You're going to tell him where you've been now. Tell him, while the one light in the room illuminates you, while shadows from the street make you appear less solid. You sit there, waiting for him to conclude with you, the yellow light swimming over you, casting you. He's caught you with red hands, hopeless to deny yourself, useless, believes he knows exactly who and how you are. The carpet is almost as red as your hands. One eye now glares from your face as he turns your head to the side, pushing your face along the stretch of the canvas. You're there, once again, as you never quite were, in parts. He goes by and over these last remaining parts like traces. You are a set of nerves, bundled, contained now by the skin that holds you. You fall under his hands, with your ass wagging as you remove yourself further off into the cage of there with him, being drawn into being seen with him. He comments on the power he sees in your legs, calls it surprising how strong your legs are, inviting to him, pointing yourself out to you, teaching you how to see you further. The bulb swings back and forth above, over your head and his, throwing these shadows over everything. It's a perspective. You're splitting another level to you, a dog at times confused before a mirror. He welcomes this side of you, a man, an animal, naked. He puts you down on the kitchen chair, has taken off all your clothes again. He paints you again, those bones that structure just your jaw, bared more in places as he spends all this time just going over your jaw, scraping away the paint that accumulates, thickens to the point of obscuring you, going over it again and over it again. He'd have your strong arms fixed like sculpture, set like stone. They'll emote, erode, as he makes of you what he will, would, tired, a tongue lolling a bit, the dog tried, the constant threat of biting. Something is rending the comprehending of your head. He brings you in to have a look at yourself, to see yourself from 2, 3, from a number of different angles, ways through him. Was there anything more immediate than this here? There had to be. You're having another cigarette, eating, ape-like, one viewer would say. It's not so much a chair leg as a tail, back, there. Arms pinned you to a wall. He made you more and more into an animal, marking you. This dumbed monkey stopped before his own reflection for some reason. They'll devour you, sighting you. This constant fucking is all that seems to go on existing. Crane. You've just been looking all this time for someone to meet you who would dare to meet you head on. You've been searching for someone you could combine with to make something more fixed. He'd love you. You'd believe his feelings reflect your feelings, mostly. You believe there are things still to be said. There must be. Language is only the shadow falling over what has flown. In his hands, directions are rethought. Here is how you become another. With him, you no longer quite recognize yourself. You're better. E. He says he sees a mother of sorts in the sea, out under the moon, the lee, all over the world. He sails. This could be your one great love. Everything you've been trying to put into words all this time. It could be him. How you could love him. How he could complete you. How the sea could contain it all. These initial feelings eventually settle. There's always another E, a J, the C of them. They have many names, but they wash away. You're still going out from one place to another all over the world. It's raining that night, lightning even. The lighter it gets, the less you could see someone like him staggering so obviously, but there are still those certain ones, those certain hours, those few just before dawn while he's away. There are those certain places, always a Jason or a Jeremy. That's all there would be for you right now. He is another insisting it take place where you once swayed with another, his shadows now floating there before you, and the water out over the water shaping itself inside your thoughts. Everything versed a sureness. You see how you could never completely join, not with this one, not with him. Something is holding you back, that last ounce of yourself you want preserved. You can't give everything. You see how you and he begin to separate down into these parts around each other, trying to relate. To you, every man was beginning to be made up of only all those before. You add them up to each other. As they threw you around, you were one constant through them. What could you do but look for others, believe you were not completely so lost out there? Find he was not so completely irreplaceable either. Not even a meal. E. There are others. He is just one sailor out of a dozen more. Your mouth begins rending while your body waits. You watch the ships docking, then departing. Things would never go back to ground quite as firm for you. After a certain point it is like you are already gone, though you will try to get back. What happened between you and him, just how serious it all was, will remain open to conjectures for quite some time. Just in passing, one man mentions Melville to another. You believe you now know what that might mean. You have started attempting to articulate the sea further.